Hello, everyone. This is Marianne Jones, Vice President of Mortgage Lending for Guaranteed Rate Affinity. I'm here today for episode 2 of Safe at Home with a special guest. But before I share with you who is joining us, I would like to introduce my 3 colleagues from Coldwell Banker. They are Ellen Kaiser Gordon.
Hi, Marianne.
Hello, Ellen. I am also here with Susan Prisco.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Susan. And last but certainly not least, Diane Tolley.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Diane. How is everyone doing during this unprecedented time?
Good. Yeah, busy.
Moving along.
Wonderful, wonderful. I like to hear that. We just keep swimming, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I alluded to the fact that we have a special guest speaker. And without further ado, I would like to introduce attorney Kevin DeFilippis. Kevin has an office in Flanders, New Jersey, and a satellite in Bedminster. And due to the fact that he's fair, honest, and dependable, we love when buyers and sellers choose to work with Kevin and his top-notch staff. So Kevin, we welcome you to Safe at Home.
Thank you so much, Marianne. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to answering any questions you may have. Like you said, I have an office in Flanders, New Jersey, and one in Bedminster. I've been practicing in real estate law for the past 10 years. And what we love is we love to be communicating with our clients, communicating with our realtors that we partner with, and getting people to the closing table. Not many people get to go to a lawyer's office for a positive event, and closings is one of the very few things where we can have people come into our office, close on a new home, and leave happy. So I really enjoy what we do, and I would love working with you and Guaranteed Rate and Coldwell Banker.
Thank you, Kevin. I do believe we have some questions that our clients have been reaching out to us and asking. Ellen, I apologize. Susan, shall we start with you? Do you have a question that folks are asking these days?
Sure, Marianne. Kevin, I have people that have been asking me about the attorney review process and if that's changed at all due to COVID-19 and if there's any adjustments that you're making or anything that you're seeing happen differently.
Absolutely. So we started seeing adjustments in attorney review right when the stay-at-home order was issued. And basically what we are seeing are 3 provisions. One is that if there are any timeframes in the contract that are beyond the party's control, that timeframe shall be extended for the amount of time that it cannot occur. And for example, so if a home inspection is not able to be done within the 14 days that are allotted for in the contract due to the pandemic, then the home inspection should be delayed for the amount of time that we are unable to inspect. So if the home inspection can't be delayed for 20 days, then it's going to be delayed for that 20 days. So those things like right now, title searches are still being able to be done. So we haven't had any issues with that. Surveys, same thing. We've been okay on surveys. And for the most part, inspections have been taking place as usual. One area that we are seeing things slow down a little bit is for mortgage commitments. And it might take a little bit longer for a commitment to be issued because somebody might have been furloughed, for example. So in that situation, if a person's been furloughed for 20 days or so, we've been able to, in some cases, extend the mortgage commitment for that amount of time. The other change that we're seeing in attorney review is that if there are circumstances beyond the buyer's control financially, that the buyer will have the right to cancel the contract. So just as I was saying with the furloughs, if the buyer loses their job unexpectedly due to the pandemic, they will have the right to terminate the contract and receive a return of their deposits. This provision really was not in attorney review before because this pandemic is new for everyone, and now we're seeing that more frequently. And then lastly, due to social distancing, the only people that are allowed at the closing are the buyers and the title representative, the settlement agent for the title company. So there are no longer, right now during the pandemic, the agents are not coming to the closing, the lenders are not coming to the closing, or anyone else that may have gone to your standard closing are no longer able to attend, and it's only essential people only, which are the buyers and the title company who's acting as settlement agent.
Great. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Helen, I know you're keeping in constant contact with your clients these days. Did you have someone that had a question that was pertinent to Kevin?
Yeah, I do. And this is appropriate to what you were just speaking about. So Kevin, I had a seller who wanted to know if they could close remotely and if they could take care of doing everything online because they're moving across country and they'd like to go sooner rather than later.
So absolutely, most of our sellers do not attend closing. Even before the pandemic, I would say 95% of our sellers would not be attending the closing. Typically, they would be coming into our office to pre-sign the deed and the corresponding documents, and we would be sending those documents to the buyer's attorney's office, and the sellers would not be attending the closing. They would receive their proceeds via overnight check or even a wire directly into their account. So that has not changed. What has changed is trying to obtain a notary for the documents that need to be notarized. So for a standard closing, you're going to have about 3 documents that need to be notarized, and that's the deed, the affidavit of title, and the affidavit of consideration. Mm-hmm. And those documents still need to be notarized, and the county clerks have not accepted online notaries during the pandemic as of yet. I'm hoping that's going to change, but it still hasn't. So for sellers, they're going to have to find a way to get documents notarized, whether we from our office email them to wherever they're located, because they could be out of state, they could, or in South Jersey if we're closing in North Jersey, or et cetera. So they just need to find access to a notary. We're happy to have them in our office to notarize the documents. Everything is, our conference room table is Lysol, disinfected, new pens are issued, and we stay far away from the sellers when they're signing their documents, and we explain what they're signing from afar. If they have access to a notary wherever they're located, they could do it that way as well. But most of our sellers had been closing without attending the closing anyway. It's just now we just need access to a notary, which is the only issue that we're presently going through, is trying to find notaries that are willing to go to people's houses, or having sellers come in when they're a little cautious about coming into our office.
Right. Okay. Thank you. That answers my question.
Thank you, Kevin. Clearly, the only thing that is constant here is change. Diane,
Absolutely.
did you have a question for Kevin DeFilippis?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I had a home inspection today, and a lot of different things came up that would require a lot of different contractors to get into repair. And I'm just wondering if the sellers are much more amenable to giving credits these days as opposed to getting contractors in-house to repair the inspection issues.
Absolutely. So we're seeing a lot of concessions, credits being offered in home inspections, more than we've ever seen before. That's because there's not a lot of contractors that are willing to be in the houses that the sellers are selling. So we are having to resolve inspections via credits. We're also resolving inspections via escrows. So if we know that a repair needs to be done, and the ballpark, it will cost about $1,500 for that repair to be made, but they just can't have it done before closing, we would escrow that amount of money or a little bit above that, so that the repair can be made after the closing takes place and when these restrictions due to the pandemic are lifted. So we have right now the most escrows that we've had ever in our history. So it's almost that it's a lot of our files that we're doing escrows, and I'd say most of our inspections are being resolved with credits.
Great. I think we're going to need a few on this one.
Outstanding. Thank you, Kevin. You are clearly a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge, and we very much appreciate your participation today. If an individual would like to get in touch with you, what's the best way for that to happen?
So our phone number is 973-527-7400. So they can call us at any time. We also accept text messages at that number. and they can always go to our website at dfsattorneys.com, and they can find all of our information right there. And like I said, we're one of the few attorneys I think accepts text messages on our office line. So it's a wonderful resource, and we text our clients all the time, and they text us, and the same thing with our agents.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much. On behalf of Ellen, Sue, Diane, and myself, we thank you for joining us for episode 2 of Safe at Home. Please continue to stay safe and stay well.
Thank you. You do the same. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.